Hey everybody, welcome back to Ogre Speed Shop. And we are back at my favorite place in the world. That's my little honey hole of a junkyard that my buddy Freddie owns. And we got another car here that we're going to try to see if we can get the engine running. And we'll get more into it as we get to the car. But let's go ahead and get into it. So this here's what we're looking at today. This is a Pontiac Grand Prix SJ. I don't know anything about these Grand Prix. And something's biting me in the shoulder right now, so I'm trying to get that out right now. But anyways, that's what we're gonna get into. And from what I hear, it's got a 400 in it. So if we can get that spinning, I almost guarantee it'll run. So let's go ahead and pop the hood and see what we got. You have to forgive me, I forgot my tripod. Well, I actually wasn't planning on doing this today. I was working on the International. But I did loop down these hinges a little bit to aid in opening the hood. And it actually worked. But look at that. So definitely a Pontiac motor. So yeah, once again, this thing's been a nice nesting ground for something. But looks like it's complete. Looks like almost something might be missing in this area. I see a ground wire. That might just be from the battery cable. I don't know yet. What is that? Yeah, it's grounds going to something over here. I don't know. Oh, maybe. I bet you AC is missing. Yeah, the AC compressor is missing, so it must be for AC. But anyways, let's. I'm gonna blow this out and see if we can. Is it got a? It's got a clutch fan on it, so which spins, which you can't use that. The shroud is pretty much toast. Maybe we'll put a socket on the alternator and see if it'll turn from that. Yeah, so this is your typical story. You know, it ran when parked. So we're going to see if this thing's going to spin or not. I don't know if I can set you up on here. Maybe a little bit there. Oh, there we go. That should work, I think. Until it falls over. Yeah, we're going to be a little bit crooked, but you'll be all right. Just want you to watch the crank for me. So I'm just going to use the alternator pulley and see if that'll spin it. I'm not using very much force either because I'm just using a 3/8 drive ratchet just to see what'll happen here. Oh, look at that. Well, that is spinning really smooth. The crunching is the belt you're hearing, but the crank is definitely spinning. If that's spinning, then we are going to be good. There's no way this thing won't run. The points distributor. It's even got an HEI. So this should be an easy one, actually. Did I just jinx myself? Probably did, huh? That dirt dauber made it the whole way around. All right, we definitely got good rotation. So that'll definitely be pretty easy to get going, I think. As long as the carburetor ain't blocked up and the, you know, nothing else is a problem. Definitely got some electrical. We got chewed up spark plug wires as usual. But yeah. So let's get that air cleaner off there and see what we got. Well, I'm gonna blow it out first. I'm not gonna bother showing you all that because, like I said, I don't have my tripod with me today, and we'll get more into it later. I don't have a whole lot of time today to do this. But yeah. I gotta quit saying yeah. But anyways, gotta stop saying that too. You know, we're gonna get into it. So like I said, I know nothing about this car. I think it's definitely a 70s model. We do have a VIN number we can check, so I'll have to run those numbers. It's an automatic car. T-tops. I think that might be kind of rare. I hate saying that. A unique feature for these cars. But it might not be. I don't know. I'll have to see once I figure out what year it is and run the VIN, if we can figure out more about it. No keys. Not a big deal. But, so yeah. And as usual, no wheels. But that engine is not locked up. And I'm actually interested in the engine more than anything. The car's pretty rough. I don't really see a whole lot saving it. But somebody might be into it. But so yeah, maybe it's a police car. It's got a CB antenna on it. Does that still have the CB? That don't look like it. A bunch of parts on there. Is this open? Nope. So it will definitely dig a little bit deeper into it, but I'm just mostly interested in trying to see if it'll run. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so one of the things that could be a problem is this thing isn't actually bolted down. And oh my God, no filter. That ain't good. Wow. That's nasty. Damn dirt daubers. Well, okay, it's not even locked up, but I'm not gonna try to open it with all that crap in there. Like literally crap everywhere. Oh man, okay. See if I can clean that out a little bit. Kind of curious to see if it came out on video or not, but when I went to take this off the rest of the way, there was a mouse with a little baby stuck to it inside here. So yeah, that's definitely not a good thing. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I mean, it's already filled. I'd rather get it out of there as much as I can. I'm just gonna kind of blow it off there and see what we find. And hopefully I got a vacuum too. We can vacuum down in there and see if we can get it out of there. But I don't know, that's pretty bad. The good news is underneath all that junk, the butterflies and the choke were both closed. So hopefully that'll reduce the amount of stuff that's in there. Everything seems to be moving. I'm afraid to open it, but I think probably what's done is done. And will it open? Secondaries aren't opening. Primaries are. So it's on the vacuum, so that might open once it's running. I'm gonna have time to just throw a freaking battery on just to see what happens. I wonder if that one works. But yeah. Oh boy. I didn't bring my trigger or nothing, so I don't know. Definitely be a interesting one at most, you know. Keep this butterflies closed as best we can until we come back to it. I didn't show you earlier, but I did check it before I spun it over, and it has plenty of oil in it. So there it goes. All right. Next thing is I need to get this thing to where I can get to the battery. Actually, I found the wires. So I think that's purple wire right down here. And so one of those has got to be the starter wire, I'm assuming. But yeah, we either got to get under it or try to rig something up over here with the battery. So that's going to be the plan. I didn't bring my switch, so we're not going to do it today. But we will come back to this. All right, it's the next day, and we're back on this Grand Prix. Found out it is a 77, and it is a, what is it, an SJ Grand Prix. I don't know what any of that means. I know it's got a 400 4-barrel with 180 horsepower. So that's what we're working with here. And hopefully, well, we already know it turns. So let's put some power to it and see what it does. I think the first thing I'm going to do is start back here, see if I can find the starter wire. I'm not going to get underneath the truck, especially with all this stuff hanging, and God knows what might be underneath there. I think I am going to, we do have ticks here, so I'm going to spray down first. Try to keep them off me. Should probably wear pants, but you know how that goes. See if we can figure out which one of these wires is the purple wire. That looks like it right there, but I don't know for sure. It looks like it's pretty normal for GM here. Let's go with back a little further into the wire, and there is the purple. Yep. So I think we can get a battery on there. This is a side post battery, and where is the ground? God, everything, all the plastic on here is just disintegrating. Is that it? Yep, there it is. They already got the side post converters on here, so that's good because I didn't bring any kind of other battery. I don't know why I sprayed the battery post, but looks like a 1/2 inch. What's up, Rabbit? What you doing? Oh, there was a rabbit coming right towards me a second ago. It's actually the factory battery tie down. Kind of cool. And it's got a go handle. We gotta get that off there first. All right, there you go. Should we test the battery, see if it's got any juice? Might as well. It's probably the first time I've tested the battery and not had it'll be completely zero. Yep. Didn't expect much from that, but hey, it's fun to check, right? There's some strange noises around here sometimes. I'm bringing mountain lions around here. Supposedly we have some out by my house now. What kind of battery we get anyways? Omega 5! Never heard of it. Open up this wire here a little bit so we can put the starter wire on it, the starter switch. I think it'll probably be enough. Hopefully these batteries aren't too big to fit down in there. It should. These battery cables are pretty bad, but hopefully they'll work. We'll clean the posts and see. That's positive, yep, so. I was gonna bring my weed eater to trim around the car, but it's not too bad here, so. Definitely changing though, because like when I first started coming out here, it was winter time basically. So there's a lot more weeds and stuff to worry about here. All right, let's find out. There's no keys in it, so I don't think the key that it can be on, but let's see if it's got power or not. Hey, got power to the switch. Ah, will it crank? Ooh. Ooh, she's sounding weak, but not horrible. Yeah, it's electronic oil pressure. Probably, huh? I can't see. The gauge should be the. I don't know why I'm looking over there. It's Pontiac should be down there. Hard to say. Can't see nothing. Oh, let me try cleaning the. I'm gonna spray some. Don't get mad at me for this. I'm gonna spray some brake clean down the carburetor, mainly to clean, because we don't know what's actually down in there. We did clean it, but I'm only cleaning it. I'm not using it to start it. How many spark plug wires are we missing? Looks like most of them are intact over here. So that's good. I know I saw at least one somewhere. Oh yeah, right there. Number one. Looks like the only one though. God dang. Plastic. Unplug the Ignition, where did that go? Just break off and fall? Oh, that ain't good. The wires for the distributor are chewed. Well, that ain't good. Yep, only one wire is connected. So we can't test that yet until I repair it. Just out of curiosity, is there any coolant in it? Because that heater hose is in the way. Sure don't look like it. Alright, I'll be back when I figure out what I'm going to do about that wiring. I think I got this thing wired properly now. Well, repaired, I should say. One of the wires is kind of loose. It kind of likes to pop out of the plug, so if it doesn't crank right away or start or get any fire, it's probably the reason. I'm going to disconnect the microphone so we can hear it run if it does run. But because the microphone really drowns out the noise of the engine and the cool sounds, so I don't want to deal with that. Throw some fuel down in the bowl. I don't think it's going to make a difference, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right, you guys can see everything. Yeah, the battery hook back up here. Get some ignition going here. Oh, actually, we're going to wait on that. I got power to the switch. Get this over here. Spray some right down the side there. Give it the best chance it has. And yes, I'm using 2-stroke fuel. All right, let's see what happens. I don't think we're getting a spark. Feels like it's up in there. I don't know what we're getting for fuel in there, so. All right, starter issues now. Yeah, I don't hear any kind of spark. Well, should make it easier. The clip just broke. I don't know why that ain't clipping in there. Oh, there we go. Let's hope it stays this time. Nope, it popped out again. Uh-oh. I think the starter might be going. Ouch. Yep. Dang it. We're doing good. Well, I gotta get up underneath there to try to get that going, but I'm gonna run to town and get a spark plug checker and maybe a new pigtail for the HEI if I can find one. Because I didn't click it in there. But I'll probably pull the cap off too just to see, because who knows what might be up inside there. But get a couple things while I'm in town. Vacuum caps too, because this thing's got 15,273 freaking vacuum lines on it. So yep, so we're gonna head to town, get some stuff, and we'll be back. Back a couple days later on the Grand Prix here. I'm gonna try putting the battery in. Maybe I think the battery is a little bit low. I don't think that's gonna be the issue. I think we just have to pull the starter out. And I apologize for any wind that might be here, but I forgot my microphones. Anyways, so we're gonna put the battery in, see if it'll crank again. If it does crank, then we'll work on it and pull the distributor cap off, check things out on that, make sure that stuff's working, get some power to it, see if we can get it to park off. But yeah, if it's still clicking, starter ain't engaging, then we'll jack it up and try to get the starter out of there, see if we can fix the starter. Let's get this thing open back up, see what kind of animals have re-nested in here. They've been back. That's good. So like I said, I did recharge the battery overnight. Well, last night, yesterday sometime. So hopefully it's just the battery was low, but I highly doubt it. Get a clamp for that. Trigger. We'll get lucky and it just needed to cool down for a couple days and it'll crank now. What are the odds of that? I've got power. Gotta pull the starter. No biggie. Well, it is, because this thing has no wheels on it, so it's, you know, it's kind of hard to jack it up and do everything, but can't expect much more from when you're in the junkyard. We're also supposed to get storms today, so don't have a whole lot of time to work, and I want to get some work done on the 59 GMC as well over there. We gotta get this thing up off the ground somehow. I mean, I brought a jack, but we do it in a safe manner with this dirt. I did bring jack stands, but the problem is there isn't. This dirt's so soft out here. I do have some like carpet mats things that might help. Not to mention when your jack only goes so high. Get under there to get that damn starter out without killing myself. Let me think about this for a little bit. All right, I got it jacked up as sketchy as possible, but should be able to get to the starter now and get it out of there. And we can test it on the tailgate here, see how it's doing. In typical junkyard fashion, the starter is exactly how I'd expect it to be, full of mud daubers and mud and whatnot. So we gotta get that cleaned out enough to where we'll use this battery out here to try to start it, but we gotta get it emptied out first. I don't have a spare Pontiac one, just the one on my Firebird. I ain't taking it out to do this. Oh, look at all that dirt that came out of it. Seems like it's loose enough, but let me get this screw off here too, just because I didn't get that off. I ended up just cutting it for the power wire, and it looks like it's loose on the thing, so that's going to be a nightmare to get off. Pretty sure 3/8 is too big. Yep. It's 11:30 seconds. Oh no. Hey, look at that. Came loose by hand. That ain't necessarily good. We got that off, so we can make a new one of those. Get out the big guns here. This is one of the things that over time, these fittings and stuff start to loosen up. So, you gotta make sure they're tight. your solenoid. Just don't overdo it. If you overdo it, then guess what? You're back to square one. Make the right size. See if I got the right size or not. Yep. Just make sure that one's tight. Yep, as tight as it's going to get. This is insulated from each other. Let's put some power to it here. So with an overcast like this, you'd think it'd be nice and cool, but it's a little muggy today. Some power in here. Power, yep. All right, let's see what it does. Oh, that does not sound good. The shaft is moving in and out more than it should. That seemed to help. So all right, now we got to check the engine to make sure it's still spinning somewhat free, and we'll put better cables or tighten everything down, because that was loose, so that could be a factor. So that's tight. Get this thing back up in there. It had some shims on it, but I don't know how good they were, so I don't know. We'll figure it out. Just wanted to show just how easy this motor is actually spinning. See how easily it's going? Hardly any effort whatsoever. So probably whatever it was just the battery connections. Well, let's see if playing around with the starter do any good or not. No sparks. Will it crank? What the hell? All that for nothing. Well, actually, maybe a bad ground. Yeah, that thing, oh man, that thing's totally chewed up. All right, let's try a different ground. Ground cable, it was pretty tore up, so hopefully it'll make a difference. Still nothing, huh? If I can get a battery cable down there directly. So the starter must just be either junk or not getting enough juice. Cables aren't getting hot. Well, do I want to put the new battery cable on it? I don't know. I do have one. Get to it. I can get to it from underneath the car, but I don't really want to go under there again. I'm not going to bore you guys with me crawling under there. You won't be able to see what I'm doing. All right, got some. Got a new hot cable on there. Let's see. Ah, yes. So those bad cables. All right, now we need to hook up the ignition and see if we get spark. All right, so I got my ignition wire here attached to the coil, HEI over there. I'm gonna plug that in. We're gonna check our spark right there, see if we're getting anything. And hook our trigger back up here. Okay, are we getting any spark? That would be a no. All right, let's pull the cap off and see what we got. I'm gonna test for 12 volts first at the coil, make sure it's actually getting there. I don't know why it wouldn't, considering this is directly to it. And I don't want it to ground out. I don't know if I can get up in there to test it. Yep, we got 12 volts there, so it's getting to the coil, or to the distributor. Just gonna wiggle the wires around a little bit on the distributor, because remember they were cut. So we don't know if that one is actually up in there or not. I'm gonna try pushing it up in further. See if I figure out what I do with my pocket screwdriver. There it is. Jeff over at Yow Auto Supply was nice enough to give me a little pocket screwdriver the other day when I was in there. See if that did anything. I can only imagine what this distributor looks like. Well, it's getting ready to rain, so I'm gonna button this up for now. We'll be back when we get a nicer day. Oh, we're back the next day, and storm should be over now, so we should be able to get some work done on this thing. Get this thing opened up. So I think what I'm going to do is pull the cap, because I brought an extra coil and extra parts. I got some extra ignition modules too, so if the ignition module's bad or the wiring's bad, we can switch that out too, hopefully. Hopefully I got the right one anyways. So we're going to do that, get into the distributor, pull that cap back off, and see what we got. I got wires here too that I found in one of the other cars over there. It's in the back window, so you know, they weren't being used for anything. I didn't take them off of anything. I just took them out of the back window. So that's what we're gonna do. Get the air cleaner off here, get to the distributor, pull that cap off, and see what we're doing. Got the cap and rotor off, got it over here. I'm gonna check out the coil. But I did notice, I found this when I was gonna replace this module down in here. Discovered that screw right there, down inside there, which is a ground, was not screwed in. So that could be an issue. So we're gonna check the coil real quick, because it doesn't take that much time to take this all the stuff off. So we're gonna check this coil, make sure all the connections are good on it, and then put it back together and see if we get spark. Good thing I did pull this off and look at it. You can see, let's see if I can show you now, this corrosion right here. Oh, it just flakes off. Oh, that one's not as bad. But you see how all that chunky stuff is flaking. So I'm scraping those off. It's windy again today, but let's see if we get spark this time. Hey! It's fate, but it's there. All right, we got something going now. So now I got plug wires to worry about. Because number 1's gone, number 6 is gone. So yeah, but we got some. Let's get this changed out. Like I said, we have the wind today, but try to get the wind behind you, hopefully. And so it doesn't screw it up too bad. But I got gas, but I don't have any in a bottle I can squirt in there right now. If it barks off with brake clean, then we'll worry about filling the bowls at that point, okay? So let's test it out. All right. Let's see if anything happens here. Tester back on just to be sure. Yeah, we got spark. The likelihood of us actually getting fuel down in there is pretty slim. Alright, we're gonna try some gas. Alright, so the only thing I could find in town at the time was a water bottle for like a guinea pig or something, but hopefully it'll be good enough to be able to trickle some gas in there. And get this back up on here. Try to get some gas down in there. I highly doubt the accelerator pump's working, but actually have squirters. We're just not getting enough juice to the coil. Let me play around a little bit. So as I crank this, I can hear a couple dead cylinders for sure. I don't know if I can make it so you guys can hear it or see it or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure the distributor and the coil and the wires, all the different vacuum lines that are disconnected aren't doing it any good. Sorry for the wind, but this is a spark plug that was in number 2. It ain't for this car, and it was really loose. So, but the other, we got a bigger problem. I don't know if you can see down there or not. See that puddle of oil? We got oil spewing out from somewhere, and my guess would be either the filter or the pressure gauge port. So I gotta come back to this one until I figure out. For one, I need spark plugs because those things are not right. We are getting sparks, so that's good, but we gotta figure out other things here. So let me see what we need, and I'll be back for this. Well, it kind of looks like you see the oil over here. Looks like it might be coming from somewhere. I don't know. I can't really tell, but definitely around the oil filter area. So either a hole in the oil filter or the gauge sensor is missing or something. Who knows? But I'll get to it later. Well, that was our oil leak culprit on the Grand Prix. Plastic line broken through, so just gonna put a plug in it for now. Obviously it's working, so it's got oil pressure, so just plug it for now and we'll worry about it later. All right, we're back on the 77 Grand Prix, and basically what we're gonna do, because I don't know what the spark plugs are on this thing, but they're not the proper spark plugs, and the wires are chewed up too. Got a new set of wires, brand new spark plugs. Put all that stuff in there. I replaced the coil with one of my used ones, but we had spark last time, remember? And we just couldn't get it to bark off. So I think we just need more power from the spark plugs and the wires. So I think if we replace those, excuse me, we should be good. And hopefully the carburetor's allowing fuel through. You know how dirty that was? It had a nest in it with no filter. So, yep, that's what we're going to do. Change the spark plugs. I'm not going to bore you with it. So I need to clean the holes and make sure they're good to go before I pull them off. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. So let's get into it. So just for comparison's sakes, this is the right plug. That's the one that's supposed to be in there. That's the one that was in there. And I don't know what that is. It's a Mighty. I don't know what the heck that is. Murphy, Mighty, Migbly. I don't know. But that looks like a spark. That looks like a lawnmower spark plug to me. This is what's supposed to be in there. So that's what we're going to put in there. We got all the spark plugs out, and they're all the same brand. And I don't know, I guess they don't look too bad. Couple corroded right here. So that's number 8. But, or no, I'm sorry, number 7. But anyways, went through and I sprayed it out with brake clean, and then blew it out, and then put some PB blaster down inside each cylinder. We're going to crank it over real quick just to make sure everything gets some lubrication down inside there. Then we'll put the spark plugs back in and hope for the best. I also want to make sure I find the right top dead center on number 1 as well. I think it was the right one pointed. So on Pontiacs, it's the one right. I don't know if it's not even coming through. It's the one right back here. The one pointing to the driver. It's a little different than Chevy. All right, the sound quality on this isn't gonna be that good. You can hear me good, but the this microphone cancels out like sounds around you. But as long as I keep talking, I guess it'll work. So we're just gonna, I've got everything, plugs are out. I got the cylinders, kind of soaked up with some PB blaster. So we're just gonna crank it, find top dead center number 1, put everything back together, and then go from there. I forgot my trigger, so I'm just using a regular wire. Starting to speed up, which is good. Check the oil again real quick, make sure we're not leaking anymore. Because we did cap that oil filter, or the oil sensor. Could probably use some. Dipstick tube is loose, so you have to have it in a certain position for it to stay and go in. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of oil. And while I'm at it, get rid of the mud dauber's nest on the oil cap. Isn't that special? I'm using good old VR1 2050 just because it's really high in zinc, and all these flat tappet engines you want to run. That's what you want to run in it. Now, can I hit the hole or not? Probably not. A little bit. Missed a little bit. Missed a lot of bit. I put a little bit in there. There's some there in it. Just is a little bit low. That should do. Made enough of a mess. The cool thing about oil, it doesn't really catch fire too much, so it'll just burn off. All right, let's find number one, top dead center. Then we'll check the cap. Actually, I'm kind of curious as to how the compression is on each cylinder. Oh, helps to do it on the power, not ground. There's one. Damn, that's got a lot of compression. 3 isn't quite as good. Come on, don't do this. 5 is good. 7 is good. I don't know if I can reach these ones, and gotta lean a little bit here. 2's good. 4's good. 6 is good. 8's good. So the one that's kind of weak is number 3. Well, let's hope that one comes around. Put the oil cap back on. And we'll set number 1. Check to make sure it's set right. Come on. That's pretty close, number 1. I don't know if I can get the timing marks on this thing or not. They're there. Let's try cleaning them off. All right, I should be able to rotate that around and bring it right to 0. So we know this thing spins free enough that we can just use the alternator to rotate it, which is kind of nice. And there's 0. Yep. Let me bring you in so you can see it too. See right there. See the mark on the pulley right there, and then the 0 mark. So we're right on 0. So now we can pull the cap off and see where we're at. I think I only got 2 of these latched right now, so should be fairly easy to get loose. All right, so moment of truth. Pointing right to number 1. Perfect. So right there's number 1. I don't think I have a mark. I got a marker, but it won't mark black on black, so we'll mark it anyways. You know that is number 1. All right. Now we can put the new spark plug wires on. And again, I'm not going to bore you with that because it's going to take a little bit of time for me to sort through them and get them on there. And firing order is the same as the Chevy. It's just counterclockwise. So it's 1-843-6-5-7-2. Same as Chevy and Mopar, I think. Ford's the only one that's weird. But anyways, and you know, newer LSs are different. But yeah, I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll try firing it up. The spark plugs put in and everything. All right, we got everything hooked up. I did find another problem, which is easily remediable. Easy to remedy. But I don't have one here. I have one at the house, but it's for it's for the C10. The cap on this had a couple twisted or bent over posts, like 3 of them. So that could definitely be an issue that we might have here. But this should be able to show us. Let me get some fuel. This ought to tell us whether or not we got spark. And hopefully it barks off a little bit and the starter actually works properly. And I'm using gas. I know people don't like when I use anything other than gas. All right, let's see if she got spark. Here we go. Of course, a starter. Come on, starter. Oh, yeah. What the heck? It's not shims. We've had it cranking before. It's just being stupid. I heard it bark. Oh, it needs a new fan clutch. All right, we definitely got fire. This thing needs a lot more though. So many freaking vacuum leaks. So I think the next time we're going to go through and find all the vacuum leaks. I don't have any caps with me right now, so I can't do that. Just cap everything vacuum related because it's kind of a pain in the butt. And I don't think we're getting any kind of stuff into the bowl. I don't even know where the bowl's at on this thing. Looks like it should be that, but try it one more time. Give it a little choke here. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Just got to get some fuel to it. That was nasty. And that fan should still be spinning. Actually sounded really good for the 2 seconds it ran. Definitely not getting an accelerator pump. So down the hatch is like the only place to do it. I need to fill my bottle. Let me take this microphone off so y'all can hear it too. All right, let's see if it'll do it again. So you guys can hear it. There you go. We got too many vacuum leaks. We got to fix that. That's good for now. I can live with that. And I'm sure the exhaust is probably clogged up too. So I'm going to have to get that off of there to really make it work. But she fired. And it's more than it did the last time. So we're getting somewhere. It's been about a week since I've worked on this. And we know it runs. So does that mean we can get it driving? Well, unfortunately, that is a no. This car is too far gone for me to deal with. But it's going to be available for parts. There are some good parts on it. But what I'm here for is now that we know it runs, I need the engine for a different project. So we're going to pull that engine today. All right, we got her pretty much ready. I think there's probably a couple more things like well, I can pop that out, and that'll come with it is the power steering or power brake booster here. It actually had vacuum, pretty cool. I think that's the last thing that's actually connected. There may be a ground back here I can't see, but other than that, I think we're good to go for yanking this out. But you're kind of wondering, I'm sure you're probably wondering, some of you may already know how I'm going to do this, but how am I going to get this engine out of here, out of the dirt and whatnot? Well, I brought my engine hoist. Shouldn't be a problem, right? Especially since it hooks into my hitch right there. So I can back right up to this, yank it, hopefully, and then stick it right in the trailer, hook the trailer back up, and go home. So let's hope that's the way it works out. Well, we got the old Pontiac 400 home now, so we gotta get it cleaned up. And you may be asking yourself, what could this possibly be going into? I'll get into that a little bit further here in a minute, but let's get this thing pressure washed. And that transmission is just coated in mud. That's gonna be fun. I gotta get the engine hoist out of there first. But we'll get into what this is going to be going into and why.
Real quick, we're just going to talk a little bit of history here. I know I don't usually talk like this, but it's something kind of interesting I thought I'd share. Did you know that between 1955 and 1959, GMC used Pontiac engines, V8 engines, in their trucks? And to be more specific, I'll list here, I need a cheat sheet. 1955, their second series, they used a 287 cubic inch V8 marketed as a GMC 288. In 1956, they used a 316 cubic inch V8 marketed as a GMC 316. 1957, they used a 347 cubic inch V8. And in 58-59, they used a 336 cubic inch V8, a modified version of the Pontiac 370, 389 engines. So why am I telling you this? Well, the reason being because, well, let me take you outside and I'll let you know what I'm talking about.
So here we got that Pontiac V8 we pulled out of the Grand Prix, 1977 400. Yes, it's definitely a small dog, and we're going to change some things on that to make sure it's a little bit better. But why am I talking about GMC trucks and Pontiac engines? This is why. The 1-ton truck does not have enough power. Its max speed, and this is the fastest I've ever had it, was 58 miles an hour downhill with a tailwind. It's the fastest it could go with that inline 250 engine, the inline 6 250 engine. So I'm going to do what I think GMC should have done for a few more years. I'm going to put that Pontiac 400 in this 1970 GMC to make it a better vehicle for me, for what I want to do with it, for rescues, so I can actually get up over 55 miles an hour, take this thing on the highway to go to the junkyard if I want to pull something again. Because believe me, the way we pulled this thing with that engine hoist on the back of the Silverado did not work. All right, it worked, it got it out, but it was a pain in the butt. And I also, bent my engine hoist. So we need to change that. This will be a much better vehicle for doing that. But I want to be able to get there in less than 10 hours when the max speed of this thing is only like 50 miles an hour. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put that 400 in this truck. But that's going to be a completely different video, probably a series of videos, getting this thing prepped and ready to go in there. Because we might have to move the transmission and everything forward like we did in the blue truck, which that video hasn't come out yet, but it's going to be before this one. Or no, it won't be before this one. But like we're doing in the blue truck and in the shop in there, is we moved everything forward to the V8 location. So we're going to have to do the same thing with this. But we're going to get way more into that when it comes time to actually do that. So that's what we're going to do. That's where this V8 is going to go. The one out of the Grand Prix, which the car was completely trashed. There was nothing left to worry about. It wasn't even worth trying to put money into to make it run and drive. So we're going to make it worth the effort and put it in the 1970 1-ton K3500. So on that note, that's going to end this video on trying to get that engine running in a Grand Prix. Will it run on a 1977 Pontiac Grand Prix? So it's going to end with it going into this 1970 GMC K3500 that I built. It's because I just need more power. That little inline 6 250 just ain't enough. All right, so if you like this video, leave a like down there, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this idea and how well I'll be able to execute it. I think I'll be able to do all right. It's just putting a V8 in the truck, right? But anyway, so like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Tell your friends, share the video, turn on your notifications to see that video coming up. And until next time, for all those people who've been here till the very end of this, I really appreciate it. So until next time, I'll see y'all later.